Chapter 16. Ending to a new start. I did everything I told Evan when she asked me that afternoon in the coffee shop on what I'll do once she was gone. I did my best to persuade Robert to allow me to go on by myself. It was a hard thing to get through among other things, but eventually he gave in, with the consolation that he'd drive me there and back home. I agreed to everything he planned out. It's the least I can do to keep me from going. I set out a weekday schedule to visit the mountain Evan and I once climbed. The steps familiar, leading me to 100 endless stairs up. I felt Evan's presence in every step up. The air had grown cold as soon as I landed on the top, right where we first sat. The sun is descending from afar, painting the whole mountain in a fading sunset. I heave a deep breath as the sky slowly slips into evening. The stars began to appear from hiding behind the fading clouds. I pulled out the cot I bought and lie down and watch the stars. I inhaled the sweet scent from a bonfire lit by a group of young men a few meters away. In time, I caught sight of a passing meteorite. I gasped as were the men, and we all watched as it disappears to one end. I immediately know it was Evan, and this is her way of saying she's here with me. She had whispered to the stars to bid me light, and as the falling meteorite beautifully fades away, tears were already rolling down my cheeks. I knew it. She was already one of them. All the days I've shared with her come playing back in my mind. I didn't know much about existing a year ago, but all it took was a 15-minute visit in that coffee shop, a glance through the empty tables, and meeting her there had been helpful. It had made me appreciate living better than before. Have I existed in the fullest sense before meeting her? I am sure I didn't. This is what impending death does to people. This is what Evan taught me. Death makes people question whether they had lived a great life or not. Have they said enough words or not? Had they been alive in the purest form of being alive? Death is not something we all look forward to. It's not listed in our wish list. Death stands as the turning point of one's life, not the end of it. The body may decay, the voice of the person may not be heard again, but how they made someone feel lasts even beyond one can imagine. Death is not the end of someone. It's just the absence of their physical presence. But how they will be remembered and wants to be remembered is a time well spent while still being here. Evan doesn't want to be remembered. She just wants to live her life in a way that she wants, even though how numbered days it could be. Yes, we only live once. We were born once, and we will die once. But we will continue to live as long as our memories are kept lovingly. We can't possibly live forever in someone's memory. Eventually, these people will soon die of old age or sudden death. But while they're here, they can live with the memory of you. Evan doesn't want to live forever. She just wants to live once. One good life she wants to live. She doesn't want a perfect life. She wants an imperfect one. She don't ask the question, what's the point of living? She wants to connect the points of living. While she was able to. While she was here. While we are here. It wasn't a wish she have had she been given more chances. And with this, I'm certain, even if I am given the chance to live forever, I won't live it the same way I did in those precious months. I may not live forever as well, but she'll be with me as long as I'm here. She won't be gone. She won't be lost. She's already painted. She's everywhere I would go. She would always be found when I want to. She didn't change my plan to end my life. I will still. Time knows when I do. Yet, instead, she showed me that while I'm here, purely still here, as long as I'm breathing, I can extend it as long as I like. Even for a month, even for a day, a year, even for a life. While I'm still here. While we are here. She didn't change me. She just loved me. And that all makes it all different. I was in the same coffee shop a few days later, and it felt like the first day. The air is hauntingly familiar, but I never felt old nor odd. It feels like stepping into a memory you can always relive every day. Feeling like it's always the first time. I sat at the same table and spent the first minutes watching the passersby outside the shop. A few people started entering, and from the corner of my eyes, the barista from the bar started greeting people, approaching with their orders. I wait for something to happen. It's a strange thing to know, to feel it in your bones that at any given moment, something would eventually happen, even though you don't have the slightest idea of what it is. I waited for a couple of seconds more. A girl walked into the table in the front, sat at the chair facing me. Our eyes met for a second. It didn't last long, as a man walked to her and gave her a quick kiss on the cheeks. This isn't how I first told the story in my head. So the occurrences and the possibilities of those scenes from happening is a mere leap of fate in the void, a mere prayer in the wind, a mere hope in the sense of believing. But I do believe now. A few more seconds passed. I am still watching as the couple in front of me gush over a little silly argument on what to get for breakfast. They look happy. They look good together. It's funny how you were able to see happiness in other people's faces, smiles and glances, but you can't do the same with yourself. From the corner of my eyes, a figure hovered over to my left. It was a sway of brown, curly hair, and a flash of yellow shirt and skirt, dangling in a mere shot of light. A few more steps, and an unexplainable feeling washed over me. I look up and see a haunting pair of brown eyes, looking right at me in complete amusement. "What can I bring you?" she asked. I marveled at her features and I felt a light strike in my chest. She smiled, and I smiled. And I knew this was something that had happened but never happened before at the same time. What's your bestseller?" I asked. A twinkle started to come alive in her eyes. "Well, we have the mochaccino as the best." This time she smiled knowingly, widely, and just to add it up, she whispered, "It's my favorite." I watch how the sunlight from the window streams over us, and I feel my heart opening up. Even if she was a few breaths away from me, I know her heart is going through the same. She contained her smile, and I did the same. It was at this moment that I realized I could really live this moment for now and remember it forever. It's just the start of the story you are about to end. A story you thought existed in a series of dreams, but in the most vulnerable sense that my mind plays, my heart beats. A story that is not. It sure is. The end.